The beaming is getting worse again today. Indeed, it seems that every time I talk about the butcher's shop, the beaming gets worse. Indeed, Devizes police operatives seem to be putting in a lot of effort to try and keep the name Walter Rose and Sons Butcher Shop out of the public domain. So very interesting indeed. I'm being persecuted by Devizes police and Devizes residents for attempting to expose the Walter Rose and Sons Butcher Shop organ harvesting ring for what it is. It is an organ harvesting network, a key conduit between Devizes police and the Russian elites. Indeed, it's interesting to consider that the main customer of Walter Rose and Sons Butcher Shop for organs is the Russian elites. So it's all very interesting to consider, especially considering the fact that Romanian mobsters keep trying to make out that I'm working for the Russian government. Indeed, it's really annoying. I'm most certainly not working for Putin. Indeed, I despise Putin and everything he represents. So it's all a very interesting situation, really, indeed. My exposures are to be of Devizes police and the Walter Rose and Sons Butcher Shop organ harvesting cartel, which itself interconnects with Russian state operations, i.e. Putin's boys, have an interest in seeing Walter Rose and Sons Butcher Shop continue to operate. So it's all very interesting to consider, especially in light of the current political situation. Indeed, Devizes residents see themselves as Anglo-patriots when they are technically operative for Russian state interests and Nazi intelligence continuum. So it's all very interesting to consider this, indeed. Also, the Devizes residents have several intricate cartel arrangements with Faith of Ishmael adherents. So it's all very interesting to consider, indeed. Devizes residents keep trying to cast me in the eyes of the public as a traitor when I haven't betrayed anybody. Indeed, Devizes residents are traitors to their children. So it's all very interesting to consider, indeed. Devizes will do anything to protect their child rapist ring. Indeed, it seems that they are more concerned with child rape than they are about actually learning about intelligence operations and how the espionage world works. Indeed, they're attempting to present a case to a judge for libel, that I've committed libel against several Devizes residents. So it's all very interesting to consider. We will see how this plays out. Indeed, judges in Britain are all Masonic. However, I doubt they'd even be stupid enough to bring a case against a known lunatic and who is certified insane. So it's all very interesting to consider, indeed. This is all very interesting to consider. Indeed, as an insane mental patient, I operate for the insane against the police. So it's all very interesting to consider. This is not a Russian disinformation campaign or anything like that. This is an operation of an insane man against the police. So it's all very interesting to consider, and indeed, it's already awful what's going on in Wiltshire, considering the organ trade and the organ harvesters of Walter Rose and Sons Butcher Shop and what they're trying to cover up. Indeed, they're attempting to basically lure me to Devizes where they intend to chop me up. So it's all very interesting to consider, indeed. Walter Rose and Sons Butcher Shop have a death order on me. So it's all really quite disturbing. And indeed, Walter Rose and Sons Butcher Shop's butchers are organized into a secret society called Die Blutordnung, which directly links to the Order of Nine Angles through a German firm, a construction company, I believe, is the interlinking network between the Blutordnung and the Order of Nine Angles, indeed. The Order of Nine Angles are a key satanic neo-Nazi network coordinated by the Crown, so it's interesting to consider, indeed. And indeed, British royals personally licensed Order of Nine Angles child rapes and other neo-Nazi terrorist operations in the United Kingdom. Indeed, it's all very interesting to consider. Indeed, I've spoken before of the synthesis between neo-Nazi Satanists and jihadists. Indeed, all of these networks are part of an apparatus of a framework known as Gladio 4, which is the construction of artificial terrorist attacks by the secret services that would allow for the implementation of a police state in the United Kingdom. Indeed, neo-Nazi satanic networks, such as those of vermin, known to Carnsfolk as Cassius Lynch or Cass Lynch, intersect with jihadist networks in these overall networks, which are coordinated at top level by MI5, i.e. the Internal Security Services of the United Kingdom, and Special Branch, the so-called counter-terrorist operation of the police. So it's all very interesting to consider that all of the terrorists are controlled by counter-terror networks. So it's all very interesting to consider. Indeed, Gladio 4 was sworn into effect in the late 90s. So it's interesting to consider, indeed, during the 90s we went through Gladios 2 and 3. Indeed, Gladios 2 and 3 are still in operation also, as is the original Gladio program. So it's all very interesting to consider, indeed. Neo-Nazis in Britain are coordinated by French intelligence to a certain level also. Indeed, the 7/7 bombings by jihadists were also coordinated by French intelligence operatives. So it's all very interesting to consider this. Indeed, the French Gladio program is chiefly operative here in Wiltshire through networks of Order of Nine Angles operatives, and there are many in Warminster. Indeed, 764 is also operative here in Warminster, coordinating networks of satanic neo-Nazi child rapists, who are basically the equivalent of Devizes' M-Gang. Indeed, it's all very interesting to consider, indeed. It's all very strange what is going on this island, indeed. The police are coordinating a raid of a Russian residence in London to attempt to gather evidence on my being a Russian spy. However, this will all be fabricated evidence, and this is part of the Blackwell legacy that the networks of the British security services are attempting to implement on me, indeed. As I've stated before, in 1954, a paranoid schizophrenic called Michael was coming very close to exposing the Roundway experiment. So the British security services, in coordination with the Deutsche Verteidigungsdienst, framed Michael as a Soviet spy utilizing an operative called Archibald Blackwell. Indeed, Michael spent the rest of his life in solitary in Broadmoor. He died in the 80s. He was charged with treason, even though he was not operating for the Soviet Union at all. So it's all very interesting. The false information that the intelligence services of the United Kingdom will churn out to stop anyone from exposing such operations as the Roundway experiment. Indeed, the Blackwell legacy is being implemented on me for exposing Walter Rose and Sons Butcher Shop as an organ harvesting cartel. So it's all very interesting to consider, indeed. Walter Rose and Sons Butcher Shop are attempting to sue me for libel, but aren't having much luck apparently. So it's all very interesting to consider the lengths that these people will go to maintain their organ harvesting child rape paradise, which is the town of Devizes, indeed. Devizes is an organ harvesting, child raping, baby sacrificing ring. That's all Devizes is, indeed. The devil is in the water in Devizes, so it's interesting to consider. Indeed, Devizes residents are very stupid, so they drink tap water. Indeed, I don't drink tap water, so it's all very, very interesting to consider. Indeed, the Blackwell legacy at the moment is being implemented on me by networks of the National Anarchist Movement, i.e. the networks of Troy Southgate. Indeed, Troy Southgate, the MI5 agent, has a personal grudge against me for exposing his network as a satanic child abuse network. Indeed, it's interesting to consider that during my programming by the British intelligence services, I was directed to make communication with Troy Southgate. However, I soon realized what kind of man Troy Southgate is. Indeed, he is a ritual abuser of children, an operative of the Mossad, so it's all very interesting to consider that a lot of the anti-Semitism of these neo-Nazis is manufactured for the public, so it's all very interesting to consider. Troy Southgate is an operative of the Mossad, i.e. Israel's Foreign Intelligence Directorate, so it's all very interesting to consider that in light of the supposed ideologies of the National Anarchist Movement. However, all of these networks are overarchingly run by Deutsche Verteidigungsdienst operatives, including British fascist factions of the Deutsche Verteidigungsdienst, who run the United Kingdom for the global power structure. So it's all very interesting to consider. Exactly what is going on is beyond my reach. I can only theorize on what is going on. Indeed, I don't know everything. So it's all very interesting to consider. Indeed, as a lunatic, it is difficult for me to have the right frequencies to constantly be updating this video diary. However, I'm going to continue to the best of my ability. Indeed, I'm not too happy with this video. However, we're going to continue with it. Indeed, Walter Rose and Sons Butcher Shop is a key trafficking point for children, which is interesting indeed. Child trafficking is perpetrated through the Walter Rose and Sons Butcher Shop courtyard during the night time. Altogether, about 100,000 children are trafficked through Walter Rose and Sons Butcher Shop every year from various locations around the world, including Russia and the United States. Indeed, a lot of children that go missing in those nations are trafficked through Devizes by Walter Rose and Sons Butchers operatives and the Black House gang, who are hired mercenaries for the operation. Indeed, they are Wiltshire-based supposed local gangsters who wear designer clothes and act like idiots thinking they're mafiosi. So it's all very interesting to consider indeed. The Black House gang are headed by an operative called Stuart Blackhouse, who is basically a rogue South African mercenary. So it's interesting to consider indeed. I stated the interconnectivity between Devizes police and private security contractors before. Indeed, many of these tend to be of South African origin. So it's all very interesting to consider this. Indeed, Israeli agents oversee certain percentages of the Devizes ring also, such as Herschel Grunbaum, who is chiefly operative for the Mossad in these operations, overseeing the police and the organ harvesting cabal, which is Walter Rose and Sons butcher shop. So it's all very strange to consider all of this interconnectivity between the organ harvesting cartel operation out of Devizes and the Russian and Israeli states. So the stakes are quite high in terms of the Devizes residents not wanting Walter Rose and Sons butcher shop exposed. Indeed, they're worried about their town's reputation suffering. However, it has already suffered. What were the exposures in 2020 and 2021? Indeed, this is a continuation of the exposures carried out by 76 mental patients in the year, between the years 1989 and 2001. Indeed, all of these 76 mental patients were killed by Devizes residents for attempting to expose the Roundway experiment, Roundway Asylum Project Mindgate programs, mind control programs. However, they came across a whole town-wide conspiracy that they hadn't previously counted on. Indeed, Devizes so-called local gangsters were afraid of these 76 mental patients because these 76 mental patients had an effect on the local felines that the supposed local gangsters did not like. Indeed, this seems to be a common occurrence. Local felines tend to feel affection for mental patients, and the so-called gangsters don't like it. So it's all very interesting to note. Indeed, Devizes police operative Herschel Grunbaum of the Mossad is looking for an excuse to cut me off from local felines down here in Warminster. So it's interesting to consider that the Devizes police networks are using very dirty tactics and attempting to smear my name in public. So this is Zezetzung, this is British Stasi style tactics, operative for a Devizes police force, which actually has Stasi connections. So it's all very interesting to consider that basically everything I talk about all interlinks when it comes down to analysing Devizes police and the operations being run by Devizes police, such as the Walter Rose and Sons butcher shop organ harvesting syndicate. So it's all very interesting to consider. Indeed, Devizes police are running this scheme. Indeed, all of the transactions for Walter Rose and Sons butcher shop are done with executives of Wiltshire Police headquarters. So it's all very interesting to note. Indeed, Wiltshire Police headquarters know everything about what is passing through Walter Rose and Sons butcher shop courtyard. However, they are so involved that they just consider it a normal day. So it's all very interesting to consider. Indeed, it's all really quite scary what is going on in Walter Rose and Sons butcher shop courtyard. But with 100,000 children being trafficked through that courtyard every year. Indeed, the Bengali networks there also have their own child trafficking ring running through the Walter Rose and Sons butcher shop courtyard also. So it's interesting to consider the interconnectivity between Devizes residents and Faith of Ishmael adherents. So it's all very interesting to consider. Indeed, Devizes people are effectively Faith of Ishmael adherents, though intermixed with a huge satanic angle. So it's all very interesting indeed. Devizes residents are notorious for raping children. So it's all very interesting to consider, and it's all rather awful, really, indeed. The Devizes ring is one of the darkest, closely guarded secrets in the British State Archives. Indeed, I intend to bring it to the light of day. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there now.